Thank you, viewers, once again. This week we are here again in our studio. This is a studio that brings you different programs, different discussions, topics, and we are giving information that touches our life, our daily life. Last week we were discussing about obesity and cancer, and we received quite a number of feedback from our viewers, and I want to thank you so much. Keep on tuned to this channel, and you shall learn a lot from this channel. This week again we are here with my colleague Steve, and as we promised last week, we are to discuss today. We are to discuss on ulcers. And karibu sana Steve.
I'm pleased again to be here that we will discuss issues to do with nutrition, and in particular today we want to discuss on peptic ulcers, because as far as we are concerned, we are majorly interested in non-communicable diseases which are majorly brought about by lifestyle choices, and one of the important aspects of our lifestyle choices is on the diet. So thank you so much even as you run us through on the knowledge about peptic ulcers, what we need to know and what we need to consider, that at the end of it all we may be able to live a healthy lifestyle even as we consider our lives.
I don't know what you gathered from our viewers last week. Any feedback? Because me also I received some feedback from our viewers.
Okay, thank you so much. As much as we were trying to educate people on the issue with the nutrition, yes, one important aspect is like we're trying to enlighten people to know about cancer.
Yes.
And some people are interested to know that kumbe cancer is something that people can just talk openly.
Yes.
That cancer is something that people can embrace and still have a positive lifestyle.
Yes.
And that is why I'm so much encouraged that people are interested to know that kumbe this disease, there is a way to curb it, and one of the major ways is to check on our diet. So people are really interested to know that kumbe there's some things I can avoid by me personally without even going to the hospital setup.
And one thing that came out last week about obesity is that someone can work out on it, and you can attain the weight that is required. Yeah, I saw people commenting about that, and I was really happy about it. For today, we want to look at peptic ulcers. I know that all these things we are discussing, they are just within our nutrition, what we take, and most probably how we prepare our food. Therefore, today, Steve, just to shed the more light, what is peptic ulcers?
Actually, peptic ulcer is a general term that refers to an erosion when we have an erosion in the lining of the gastric tract, particularly affecting the parts of the esophagus, the duodenum, and also the stomach.
Yes.
And the major cause of the peptic ulcer is this particular bacteria, Helicobacter pylori, and also others, like now we check on the acid secretion, but the major one is the bacteria causing.
Yes.
So peptic ulcer is all about the erosion of the lining of our gastrointestinal tract caused by this particular bacteria.
Okay. What are some other causes of peptic ulcers?
Okay, thank you so much. What some of the things that bring about peptic ulcer or erosion of our intestinal lining? Some of them is, number one is the bacteria infection, and number two is all about the increased secretion of acids in our lining, and also when our body cannot accommodate the acid that is already secreted. Yes. And another thing, when there is lot of tension, or let me say anxiety, stress, that can also bring about increased production of these acids in our body. And those are some of the things that bring about tension in the system to start producing this acid compound that will be eroding our intestinal lining.
Now, if you look at this, I want you to tell the public the age group. Do you think that it only affects the elderly, the young, or children? What age group?
Okay, actually, when we talk about anxiety of life, it's something that is cutting across all the age group.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, for example, them who are young, they've got goals to achieve.
Yes.
They've got ambitions in life. So when you find yourself in such a scenario being infected by this disease that people know that is incurable, you'll be starting like, oh, but I don't even have a family.
Yes.
So such kind of thoughts that you have not yet achieved anything in life, you still want to go miles. So it brings about like, what is my future going to be? But when you take the case of the elderly, these particular people, as much as they have struggled to attain a certain social status particularly, and certain disease just comes all of a sudden, they'll be interested with so much anxiety that then what next after me trying to do so much to achieve this? How come that now this particular disease is trying to finish me before time?
What are some of the signs and symptoms of peptic ulcer?
We have 3 major signs just to mention. And number 1 is pain. You feel a lot of pain when the acid is cutting your skin now. Okay, and again you might develop anemia also, and finally you can also develop hemorrhage factors. And if we start with the pain issue, you know the mucus do protect the intestinal lining. When they're eroded down, you will end up having a dry part in a lining. And if you eat food, there is no cushioning. You find those food are now trying to squeeze, the friction is high.
Yes.
That is what causes pain. And when you talk of something like anemia thing, which is brought about by hemorrhage, is now the bleeding that it can also bring.
Yes.
And it is so advanced that at some point you can even be given plastic intestine. And there was a case where somebody was even given plastic intestine because now the walls have been eroded, food are being in a lot of pain and so on. Then apart from the pain, we have also vomiting, because when you're having such kind of reaction, it brings some metabolic disorder in your system, and now you may not even be able to accept even certain food group. When we want to handle issues to do with living a healthy lifestyle, is to always be on the watch. And one of the things that normally affect us is the late detection of these particular diseases. And some of the early signs to look before you reach that adverse condition or state is, number 1, you'll always be like you're losing appetite. And number 2, the heartburn issues. You're just feeling you're full, or if you take some particular meal, you're feeling like this particular part you feel some strange feeling along this area. And so what I can say is that when you notice that loss of appetite, the heartburn, those are early signs of ulcers infection. And so what I can advise is that before we reach that, which I know we're going to see how we can avoid this, always be cautious with your health. Because some of these signs, we may not be in a position to note them because we have not studied them at layman levels. So I can just advise that anytime you feel something unusual which you are not feeling before, just go quickly and seek medical attention.
Just want to understand what are some of the foods that we need to avoid or we need to take with the moderation, I mean.
Okay. Number 1, we have talked about unripe citrus fruits.
Yes.
Like the oranges, they have a lot of acidity in them. And also fried foods are, when we consume lots of them, they pose a challenge to us. Yeah.
So what is the relationship between that fried one and
okay, fried food, they normally trigger the system to start producing acidic compounds.
Yes.
That is why we need to avoid them.
What about the dried, leave alone the fried one, the dried food?
Okay, the problem so much with such kind of prepared food is that they are not really properly cooked, because they will just end up just changing the color, but the heat does not reach the inner part. So even if you have not reached to the level of fried food having lots of maybe the oil that you used and also the chemicals involved in the preparation, because fried food will also put some spices and everything compared to this roasted one. The problem with this roasted one is the uncooked part of it. They are not normally properly cooked. So even if there was some microbes in them, there is high chance that they will not even die. And so what I'm saying is that nutritional intervention of a peptic ulcer, number one, we want to reduce the acidity content. We also want to control it optimal level. We want to reduce the pain in this person. We also want to reduce the stress in this particular individual. And also we want to recover the nutritional status, because we realize that this person was exhibiting like vomiting. Such kind of a person is losing a lot of water also, and there is a chance of malnutrition coming in. And so some of the food now we can advocate for that is number one, let us avoid the food that will trigger the acidity content to increase, and also alcohol intake we should control or just do away with them. And finally, on the food pattern, after choosing a healthy meal, like you can go on the cabbages, but the cabbages are not really more with the acid content. Potatoes are also good. Potatoes we can take, and whole grain also important. But we should try to avoid fats which are easily digested. That is not good for somebody with ulcers, like the fats in milk, or the rough meat also is not really conducive. And so this person again should adopt a good feeding pattern. And this one, such a person should not skip meals. In fact, he should be eating daily 3 meals per day, or if not 3, but you spread them, but again eat don't do it until hunger strikes when you eat.
So what are some of the cancers that can be brought about by peptic ulcers?
Okay, peptic ulcer being a nutritional disorder that we can link with it, of course it will just direct us back to some of the cancer related with which are rootable because of not observing nutrition or a healthy lifestyle when it comes to feeding. And we can tie it with the kidney also. We can attach it to intestinal ulcers. We can attach it to esophageal ulcers also, because all the ulcers which are affecting the GI tract, all of them are close like to this. And so, and also breast cancer, though it is not under the GI tract, but breast cancer being one of the nutritional close related cancer disease, we can also touch it there.
So one thing you have mentioned there that I just want to comment about is the issue of kidney.
The kidney is majorly to help us in excretion, and so when we also get to eat this food which are causing disorder in our metabolism, automatically it will bring a problem when it comes to the process of detoxification before finally being ejected out.
Now, for the people that sometimes they would want to get support, where can they go?
We are under Kisumu City Council, and all these nutrition services are provided here. And if you need a more elaborate explanation, a more elaborate intervention, you can make a personal visit, and we have our numbers in those websites, which I know Mr. Lamek will be telling because he is the pioneer of everything. But you can visit us through those lines. We can give home-based care and also personalized diet plans, and also go checkups at a personal level, and also put you on a diet regime. And also we are here to give you all the information you need, and you need to understand that this program is short. It may not run on a big scale. That is why lots of information are still not given to the public. So that is just for to make you see that there is a way forward, or there is a way out here. So that is just to make you know that if you want any assistance as far as nutrition is concerned, feel free to contact us at our personalized contact in the registries.
Thank you so much, Steve, and thank you so much, viewers. I just want to thank you once again for taking time with us, and also for you are the reason to why we do this program. You will find our number on our website. We have our number there. On Facebook, we have our number there, and also we are putting our number down the screen. that you can contact us anytime. Please subscribe our YouTube so that you get more of this information. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for taking your time and also for watching us and also getting information. We are here to serve you. We are here to give you information. This is your channel, and the organization is Kisumu City Cancer Organization. And for the cancer patients, and mostly for those who are having cancer patients, tafadhali observe what the patient is eating. For more information, please call us and we shall respond as soon as possible. ASAP. Thank you so much. Let us meet next week.